Anytime we put a loop on the dog, we want it to be as close to behind the ears as possible, okay? So the lower that the collar is, if it's right here by the collarbone, it's closer to the dog's chest, and the dog is able to pull when something is by his chest, all right? So yeah, so everyone go ahead and take your slip leads, and I want you to just lift them as high as possible as you can. Now, naturally, gravity will make these slip leads drop, so that's normal. But every time that we can, let's just adjust them right behind the ear so that we can control the dog. Let me borrow Murray real quick. So yeah, so this is like a vet's slip leash, right? It's like a braided nylon one. And the basic idea when I have a slip lead, I want to try my best to keep the dog on a short leash, but a loose leash. So this is still pretty loose, but it's short, okay? And what this allows me to do, it allows me to walk. And anytime I feel a little bit of pressure in a different direction, what I'm able to do is guide the dog with me, and then my arm should go back to relaxing. So if my dog is in front of me, they can pull me down better than if the dog is right next to my hips, okay? So real easy way to demonstrate this. You mind if I be a dog for a second? I'm gonna push on your wrist, and I don't want you to let me pull you over, okay? So come away from the dog. All right, so if I come here and try to prevent me from pulling you forward. See, it's easier because we're close to your hips. But if your hand is out here, now try. Yeah. You see how easy it is? Yeah. So if I can keep my dog close to me and by my hips and by my core, it's easier for me. And if I need to get even a stronger base, I can just step back and kind of lean into it, all right? So that's really important that our dogs, okay, buddy. So it's really important that we keep our dogs close to us, not there. So if our dogs are a foot or two in front of us, they're gonna topple us over. And so many times I've seen people just get their faces slammed into a door jamb because the dog was like, ooh, and then people just do that, right? Okay, so let's practice that with everybody. Try and have a nice short leash, but loose, and it should only be tight for split seconds. And then you're just, that tightness is you're just gonna redirect the dog back into position and then relax your arm again. So let's just try and walk in a little clockwise circle real quick. You can go a little higher on her neck. A lot better. Okay, but you see how long you keep letting it get long and short and long and short. Keep it and keep your arm all the way dangling. Luckily you got long arms, right? Yeah. And she's a short dog, so it's perfect, yes. Right? So, exactly. So go ahead and walk and keep it that length. Just start walking forward. Don't lift them. Try not to lift them. Just walk. Yeah. Perfect. All right, make sense, guys? Yes. All right. Now, if you have a dog who is trained, if you guys gently pull up and hold, the dog should sit down. So pull up. There you go. Pull up. There, he lays down. He's like, I'll lay down. That's cool. So when we teach dogs leash pressure work, pulling straight up means sit your butt down. And then as soon as they sit, we can relax that tension on the leash, okay? So let's just practice that a couple more times. Walk around in a circle. Make sure your leash is nice and short. You can keep the dog next to you, yep. Okay, walk a little faster. Now, as soon as they sit, always make sure that you relax, all right? So it's like, sometimes people are like, what do you mean tension? And they're like tight on that leash. So always remember tightness for like split seconds, and then we relax, okay? Let's do this again. We're gonna speed up and slow down on this one. Okay. So let's go ahead and try it. Start walking. Yeah, and instead of trying to lift the dog up, just start walking forward and the dog will come and follow you. What I like to do is just wherever my hand dangles, that's where my leash should be. If you see a cock in your elbow, there's tension. Or your leash is too high, or your hand's too high on the leash. So,
well, what about like...
I mean, that's fine, but when he stands back up, you go back to this short but loose position. All right, let's come to a stop. Don't lengthen your leash, just pull straight up. Pull straight up, good, perfect. And your dogs are right by your side. Okay, now the second thing that we're gonna do, I'm gonna be a little bit of a distraction on the inside. So your dogs are gonna wanna pull towards me. Okay, then we're gonna go the opposite direction, and now your dog's gonna wanna pull away from you. All right, so your dogs are gonna try and cross the middle of your body. And I want you to have that leash short enough where you go, nope, don't do that. The dog's gonna try and cross in front of you. Nope, don't do that. All right, so let's try it a little bit. Let's start walking in a circle. I'm gonna tease your dogs a little. Good, keep moving, keep it moving. Murray, yeah. And just keep that leash nice and short, right? So if the leash is short, you should be able to overpower them pretty quickly. Good job. Murray, good job. All right, now everyone go the opposite direction. Now your dog's gonna be on your outside and I'm gonna be a distraction in the middle. So your dogs are gonna wanna pull away from you now, okay? Let's try it. Nice. Nice, good. Make sure your leash is loose and that you're giving these little nudges. Nice, good job. Good job, Izzy. Okay, cool, get your dogs to sit. All right, your dog gets a cookie. Your dog gets a cookie. Your dog gets a cookie. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice getting our dogs to stop at thresholds. Now, we can ask the dog to sit. We can also just make sure the dog is under deference, right? So if you guys don't know what deference just means like the dog is checking in with you and like, what would you like me to do, sir? What would you like me to do, ma'am? And they check in and then together we can go out together, okay? This really has nothing to do with like dominance. Like sometimes you watch a TV show, they'll be like, if the dog's in front of you, they're dominant. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with safety, right? I need to see what's on the other side of that door first before I let the dog just go through, because there could be another dog, there could be a person, there could be something slippery, you know what I mean? So it's always about, I need to check, make sure the coast is clear, then we can walk through. All right, so let's go ahead and work. Let's use this line real quick as a reference point. And then I might need to open this door, right? And when I open this door, the dog might want to bolt out. So I need to just make sure my dog doesn't bolt out. So I should be able to be at this door jamb with a loose leash and my dog's not trying to drag me through it. So if I go like this and I open, I need to make sure that my dog is like waiting with me before we cross. Does that make sense? Now, we can almost anticipate every time we open a door, a dog's gonna try and be like, right, try and go through. So we have to anticipate that. If I have a short leash, if we followed all the rules up to this point, I can catch her real quick. Aha, you thought you could go past, but now you can't, right? Now, she doesn't have to look at me. She just has to not be actively trying to leave the door, right? So I'm waiting here. Good. Now, so we can just expect this, or we can ask the dog to sit. It's up to you guys. Sit is the easiest. You can guide them up and say sit, or we can just get them to wait right here at the threshold. Okay? Okay.